Yeah, so I always listen to him.
Concussions are serious. 3 million sport, recreation, and auto accident-related concussions happen each year. 20% of high school athletes who play contact sports will suffer a concussion during the season. St. Luke's is the region's leader in assessing, managing, and treating concussions in athletes and non-athletes of all ages. Our multi-specialty teams of experts collaborate to care for you using the latest treatment options. Don't play head games, take concussion seriously. Call St. Luke's to schedule an appointment with one of our concussion experts.
St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Extraordinary care in motion.
Searching for a place where you belong? Where your fitness matters? Regardless of what shape you're in, St. Luke's Fitness and Sports Performance Centers have a professional team that will help you meet or exceed your fitness goals. With locations throughout the region and nationally recognized fitness experts, you'll become a member of a supportive fitness community. We call it Extraordinary Fitness. Visit us online to start your free 7-day membership and let us help you thrive.
Hall of Fame pitcher Steve Carlton knows what it takes to exceed expectations. He knows what it means to be part of a team that rises above the competition. He knows a champion. Steve Carlton knows St. Luke's Orthopedic Care.
So you're hurting. Is it your back or your knee? That old football injury? Get the rehabilitation you need. In most cases, you won't need a script from your doctor. In Pennsylvania and New Jersey, a law called Direct Access lets you see a physical therapist without a prescription. And if your insurance requires a prescription, physical therapy at St. Luke's will work with your doctor to get you the care you need that is covered. Let us speed up your recovery. We're in your neighborhood. Call Physical Therapy at St. Luke's.
Concussions are serious. 3 million sport, recreation, and auto accident-related concussions happen each year. 20% of high school athletes who play contact sports will suffer a concussion during the season. St. Luke's is the region's leader in assessing, managing, and treating concussions in athletes and non-athletes of all ages. Our multi-specialty teams of experts collaborate to care for you using the latest treatment options. Don't play head games, take concussion seriously. Call St. Luke's to schedule an appointment with one of our concussion experts.
St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Extraordinary care in motion.
Are you searching for a place where you belong? Where your fitness matters? Regardless of what shape you're in, St. Luke's Fitness and Sports Performance Centers have a professional team that will help you meet or exceed your fitness goals. With locations throughout the region and nationally recognized fitness experts, you'll become a member of a supportive fitness community. We call it Extraordinary Fitness. Visit us online to start your free 7-day membership and let us help you thrive.
Hall of Fame pitcher Steve Carlton knows what it takes to exceed expectations. He knows what it means to be part of a team that rises above the competition. He knows a champion. Steve Carlton knows St. Luke's Orthopedic Care.
So you're hurting. Is it your back or your knee? That old football injury? Get the rehabilitation you need. In most cases, you won't need a script from your doctor. In Pennsylvania and New Jersey, a law called Direct Access lets you see a physical therapist without a prescription. And if your insurance requires a prescription, physical therapy at St. Luke's will work with your doctor to get you the care you need that is covered. Let us speed up your recovery. We're in your neighborhood. Call Physical Therapy at St. Luke's.
concussions are serious. 3 million sport, recreation, and auto accident-related concussions happen each year. 20% of high school athletes who play contact sports will suffer a concussion during the season. St. Luke's is the region's leader in assessing, managing, and treating concussions in athletes and non-athletes of all ages. Our multi-specialty teams of experts collaborate to care for you using the latest treatment options. Don't play head games, take concussions seriously. Call St. Luke's to schedule an appointment with one of our concussion experts.
St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Extraordinary care in motion.
Searching for a place where you belong? Where your fitness matters? Regardless of what shape you're in, St. Luke's Fitness and Sports Performance Centers have a professional team that will help you meet or exceed your fitness goals. With locations throughout the region and nationally recognized fitness experts, you'll become a member of a supportive fitness community. We call it Extraordinary Fitness. Visit us online to start your free 7-day membership and let us help you thrive.
Hall of Fame pitcher Steve Carlton knows what it takes to exceed expectations. He knows what it means to be part of a team that rises above the competition. He knows a champion. Steve Carlton knows St. Luke's Orthopedic Care.
So you're hurting. Is it your back or your knee? That old football injury? Get the rehabilitation you need. In most cases, you won't need a script from your doctor. In Pennsylvania and New Jersey, a law called Direct Access lets you see a physical therapist without a prescription. And if your insurance requires a prescription, physical therapy at St. Luke's will work with your doctor to get you the care you need that is covered. Let us speed up your recovery. We're in your neighborhood. Call Physical Therapy at St. Luke's.
Pocono Mountain West High School is site this afternoon for East Penn Conference football. Excited to be back at it with Matt Evancho, Carlo with you for the District 11 Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. An exciting time, and what better way to kick it off on a Saturday afternoon. It feels like October already, Matt.
It does, and being out there on the field with the coaches, they're both excited about starting the season out with a great day, great weather, and a great fan base here.
And exciting time for us. This will be one of about 10 games that we'll do each and every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And we start things off here in the East Penn Conference. A nice drive up here from the Lehigh Valley, and we hope that you enjoy the broadcast. And we have an exciting part of our broadcast is we introduce a student reporter down on the field, and that student reporter this time around is Emmaus Joey Draper. Joey Draper's been doing a great job for Emmaus, and with that we go down to the field and Joey Draper.
Direct your attention to the middle of the field for the point toss.
Voted by his teammates at the running back spot. Played a lot at receiver in the slot and then some in the backfield last year. Getting a lot more carries this year. He's going to be a main component to their offense.
When you look at Jim McCarroll, already in his 18th year here at Pocono Mountain West, and he's done an ideal job. And this year different from last year because he brings back more experience than a year ago.
He does, and he's relying on his offensive line to open up a lot of holes for Caleb Monaco, who rushed for over 1,700 yards last year and over 20 touchdowns. They're going to rely on him, but they don't forget about their skill positions on the outside and what they can do with the passing game.
You coach for a long time and you get it. You know what opening day, opening night of football is. What are the coaches going through? Never mind the players. What are the coaches going through right now?
Well, we talked to Coach McCarroll and we asked him, did you find your identity for your team throughout those 2 weeks of camp? And he said, we're just not there yet. We thought we got a little bit closer last week. We're still trying to find that identity. And I think the same thing goes for Easton as well with Coach Brado and his staff. They're trying to find the identity. What is this group going to be? How are they going to be different than last year's group? And what are they going to do to set their own path?
Well, D11sports.com, happy to be part of this new venture without question. And this is a time and an opportunity for us to bring it all together and start with our football broadcast. And it starts here with game number 1 in Pocono Mountain West and Easton. We hope you enjoy the broadcast. And on Thursday, we will be in Slatington for Northern Lehigh and Catasauqua. So the first of many games to be played here or to be broadcasted here for us. And I know you're excited. I'm excited as well.
This is a great opportunity to get the Lehigh Valley football out to more than just people in the Lehigh Valley. I know right now my daughter, who I just took to college in Towson University in Maryland, she's tuning in to watch the game to catch up with what her younger brother and what her boyfriend's doing. So I think we're going to touch a lot of people outside the Lehigh Valley.
So you're giving her a shout out? Is that what you're doing?
I am giving Kayla a shout out.
All right, we go down to the field. We'll get ready for the opening kickoff. Joel Ryrick has it on the tee, and we are underway. Saturday football, D11sports.com. Game of the week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. And right off the opening kickoff, a huge return by the Easton Red Rovers, and that's a great way to start things off.
And for the Rovers was Alden Freeze catching the ball on the kickoff there, getting up the right sideline, finding a lot of space to set up the Rovers for a real good opening drive.
So we'll set the tone for you here as the Easton offense, and that's one thing that you don't want to do is, bring in the offense of the starting lineups. One thing, you look at a new quarterback in Cole, as you take a look at the starting lineups coming in there, and Tamir Jackson. This starting group should be interesting as they get things going here.
It will, and you're going to see a lot of multiple sets out of Easton. They'll bring in and have the traditional fullback, halfback set, and then they'll also go with the full wide receiver set that you see right now.
Motion player, Trent Hughes going to throw on the first play of the game, and he connects to Chase Holmes, and Holmes gets across the 25 down to about the 24-yard line. So good start here for the Easton Red Rovers. Glad you could join us here on D11sports.com as we bring you the game of the week. Just underway from Pocono Mountain West High School, the home of the Panthers.
And I think you get a good look there at what Coach Brado and the offense is going to want to do with first-year quarterback Cole Transu, who earned that spot through, basically, as Coach Brado said, from competition since April in the 7-on-7s. He was really happy with his leadership that he provides to the team.
The ball on the 24, and we'll get the first carry of the game. And diving forward, getting an extra couple yards is Najee Adams, his first carry of the game.
It's going to be important for Coach McCarroll and the Pocono Mountain Panthers to really solidify the defense here, to kind of tighten up, not give Easton too much room to operate, to kind of cut them down, because they fell behind last year, and they know that was a Achilles that they can't have happen again this year.
So 2nd down and 6. Ball sits at the 20-yard line. Looking to throw again. Rolls out far side. Now going to tuck. Now throws and has a receiver and he'll connect. It'll be 1st and goal coming up after the reception made downfield by Dominic Falcone.
You get a good look at the patience that Cole Transu showed on that play, rolling out to his right, has a guy in his face, does a little pump fake to get him up in the air, gets underneath him, and then able to find Dominic Falcone coming across from his tight end spot.
First and goal, the ball sits at the 8-yard line. Ideal weather on the ground. It's Adams. Adams cuts to the far side, tries to reach towards the pylon, and he'll be a little short.
Tackled short of the end zone. 2nd goal.
There you got to look at Easton set up in their wishbone short yardage set where they have Adams and also Tamir Jackson set back with Dominic Falcone at the fullback spot.
.10-14 remaining, opening quarter. Easton driving, pushing forward and diving through. No signal yet, and now there is. So a touchdown from a couple yards out.
No, it's Tamir Jackson with the touchdown out from his fullback spot. Just a short little drive forward following his offensive line into the end zone.
So Jackson goes in from 2 yards, and just like that, a 7-0 lead for the Red Rovers. Extra point attempt here by Anthony Morcillo. And that one is blocked. So it's a 6-0 score, and getting in there right away, and that'll get you motivated, is Vito Natiello. So Natello gets it, the 5'9" senior. And that touchdown comes at the 10:08 mark.
And for Pocono Mountain West on that drive with the defense, it's not like they were out of position, they're out of place. They're right where they had to be. Just Easton made a couple plays and got a little bit of space to get free. I think if they tighten up a little bit, they're going to be in this game more often than they're not.
All right, 6-0 your score, and we go down to the field, and we hear from Joey.
Coach Brado of Easton before the game, and he said the usage of their big role model is going to be Najee Harris. He was a leader through the offseason. He was voted captain as a junior, and they said he's just the biggest role model on the team. I asked him about what kind of ball possession is going to be more important in this game, special teams, offense, or defense. He told me it's going to be special teams, and they've worked a lot harder on it during the offseason. For Pocono Mountain West, Coach McCarroll hopes to make the playoffs this year. He says this first week is going to be a big test on whether their season is going to be a good one, and they hope that it will be. Back to you, Al.
All right, Joey, great job down there on the field as Joey Draper, again, an Emmaus student reporter, joining us right now, and right now is a 6-0
position to use their skill positions on the outside.
So they'll start things off from the 20-yard line.
They need to make those catches. 2nd down, they're able to get about 3-4 yards there. Put it in a manageable 3rd down situation. Here,
that's pretty impressive. That means next week is going to be 95 and a little
most likely. We have a Thursday night
from Tamir Jackson Extra point was blocked. That came at the 10:08 mark. Back to the offense, go the Red Rovers. Flags, however, while he coasted into the end zone, they'll actually mark him down around the 3, but I believe there's one maybe coming back.
I think we're going to get there.
To the 27-yard line. It'll be first down and 15 with 8:42 on the clock. Opening quarter, 6-0 Easton.
And that's what Pocono Mountain needed. They brought some pressure from the edge to the quarterback hold Transu's backside. He needs to protect that ball while he's in the pocket with two back at 5'10", 185 pounds. So you kind of lose him behind there, and then he just finds that hole to come back to.
Quick toss, nowhere to go. As the Red Rovers defense is swarming and making the stop.
That time they try to run an option to the option play. They still have some things that were positive that they can take from that. They just need to connect on that. They can't sit here and continue to let opportunities go away.
Driven down to the ground.
And that time for Easton, number 14, Elijah Benton, coming up from his outside linebacker position, fights off the blocker and then gets the tackle from the screen pass in the backfield.
Second down and 9, the ball at the 27-yard line. Wow, great job just making his way in. Never an opportunity.
We talked about this before with the fact of putting him in situations where it's 3rd and long. This is not where Pocono Mountain West wants to be offensively. With that time, Tamir Jackson, number 8, shooting through the offensive line and taking down Monaco in the backfield.
Third down, 12, the ball at the 34-yard line, 12-0 in favor of Easton. And looking to toss to the near side, nothing there. Now he gets flushed out of the pocket and just scrambling to see if he can gain a couple. Actually moves upfield and does a good job there. So Austin Bray makes something out of nothing.
Yeah, he got rushed out a little bit by the pressure on the right side. Looked like he was okay in the pocket, but I think he just felt it enough that he had to escape. Able to get some yardage, but brings up the 4th down.
But really not able to move the ball and be consistent. They have not gone to past the 50-yard line this entire game.
Yeah, and I think the one opportunity where they had the interception, that was the one chance they were moving it. They just need to come back now and settle in and see what they can figure out offensively just to get a little bit more confidence. Because they were building some confidence there on the drive.
Yeah. Alden Fries, it's a surprise he actually, Fries tried, went for that one. Sometimes you want to get a little leery of those things.
Because you never know how the ball's going to bounce, but he actually did get a good bounce, able to handle it, but still in tight quarters there.
So 9:29 on the clock, 12-0 in favor of the Red Rovers. And if you're joining us here for the D11sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. Had some technical difficulties there. It looks like we're back on, and we apologize for that. I want to see some learning curves, and we hope you are tuning in or getting right back in the mix. Tamir Jackson with a 2-yard touchdown and made it 6-0. That came at the 10:08 mark of the first quarter, and a 7-yard touchdown by Najee Adams at the 11:50 mark of the second quarter. 12-0 Easton.
It looked like Easton was missing an offensive player on the field. They were trying to get somebody on. They elect to take the timeout.
And with that, they take a timeout. And, and Matt, obviously, it's your first game. I know Coach Brady, there's a flag out there as well.
Yeah, that came in late after the timeout.
Like they were walking towards the sideline, so I'm not sure what that flag is.
Unsportsmanlike conduct called against the Red Rovers.
And you said it, that's against Easton, but that definitely came after the timeout was called.
It wasn't. It looked like it was on one of the offensive linemen. Not sure what happened, if it was something he did or said, but going into the season, Coach Brado made a point that he said discipline-wise, they wanted to make sure they did a much better job and not make mistakes, not make these mental mistakes that plagued them in the first half of last season. So he said they did make that a point of emphasis throughout the preseason camp and throughout the summer.
The 15-yard penalty backs the Red Rovers up to the 14-yard line, first and 25. Yeah.
Looks like we're still getting this straightened out.
Yeah. It's amazing driving up here and just seeing the weather. You're like a little baby. You know, you go from a coach and wearing shorts to, you know, not coaching, and now you're like, oh, it's cold. What happened to you?
This is chilly. This is like when you're coaching on the field, the adrenaline's flowing, the blood's flowing. You know, you have that body warmth. Now I'm just sitting watching, talking about games. It's just not the same.
First down and 25, the ball at Easton's own 14-yard line. And it's been a lot of number 2, a lot of Najee Adams through 8. You know, when you're gaining some chunks there and you're getting your 6, 7, 8 yards, you know, especially on a second down and 25, you know, he's doing his part without question.
He is, and you have to credit the offensive line as well and the fullbacks for opening up those holes for him. But again, I think you're going to see a steady dose of Najee Adams throughout the season as they break in Cole Transfer as a new quarterback and let him just grow into the position and just gain more confidence as he goes, giving him safe throws, giving him safe plays, just easy reads, but then you're going to have to rely on Najee Adams.
So 8:50 on the clock, 12-0 your score. Transu looking to throw and fires it right in. I don't know how he got it through, but certainly did, right into the hands of Chase Holmes. What a catch. And that, by the way, is a first down.
And that was. Cole Transu sees him coming, sees him on a little slight in-breaking route, but able to just plant his feet, deliver a ball right before the backside safety comes over and gets Holmes just past the first down marker.
So first and 10 from the 41. Saad Brown in motion, and he will take the handoff and move himself upfield, has at least 9, and he is stopped right at midfield.
Get a good look at how they can use Saad Brown and the different things that he's able to do. Just coming from that slot receiver, able to get downfield, catch passes, bubble screens, coming across in motion, just very versatile athlete that I think he'll help take some of that load off of Najee Adams.
No question about that.
Not quite sure the number of the player down on the right side, far side of the field from Pocono Mountain West.
No, we have some time here, and obviously the Easton community right now is asking for your help. And I know I talked to Ali Zimmerman yesterday for a little while, and you know, Jeff needing a kidney, and you know, operating stage 4 kidney failure, functioning both at 17%, which is very low, and you know, they're going to preserve the diet and everything, and trying to get it, you know, people to learn more about it. And you know, if you're interested, you can reach out to templehealth.org or the Living Donor Nurse Coordinator at 215-707-8889. That's 215-707-8889. I know you know Jeff. Obviously he's been battling through this, and hoping someone steps to the plate and can help, be a match, for a kidney.
Exactly. You know, I mean, I had the opportunity to coach with Jeff. The 1 year I took off from football, I was coaching youth football with him, and just a great time I had with him and what he was able to share. But more importantly, just a great family man. Really like what he does. You know, he coaches the middle school football team for Easton. Just a great person overall.
Son Mason, daughter McKenna, wife Allie there at the game tonight. I just talked to Allie yesterday for a while, and again, anyone out there that can help out, reach out and help the Easton community and help Jeff for sure. So a 3rd down and 4, the ball to 48, 7:12 on the clock. All this said, there's still 7 minutes on the clock here in the quarter. But, Pocono Mountain West, despite not moving the football, the good thing is, on a delay here on Easton, a good thing is that, they're only down 12-0.
Correct. I mean, they really have not been able to do much offensively so far. They had a couple plays. They just couldn't put them more than just a couple together. But they're still in this game. And I think as Pocono Mountain West, as you go throughout the game, you can't let them hang around if you're Easton, because they're going to gain confidence and they're going to make some things happen. I know we could talk about the delay of game there against Easton. I think you're going to see a few of those throughout the first part of the season with the new 40-second play clock, which I know you mentioned we'll talk about a little bit later on.
Yeah, we'll have more in the 40-second play clock, hopefully there at halftime. Here at 3rd down and 8, the ball sits at the 44. See if West can stop him here. The toss far side and getting right through the defense and scrambling for the 1st down and still on his feet is Assad Brown. Brown's been dynamic on that outside part of the field. Just not being able to stop him.
And they're just getting it out and giving him enough space where he can just work what he has. Also a real nice basketball player, Assad Brown for Easton. Watching him play basketball, just the way he plays defense. I mean, you love watching a basketball player play aggressive defense. He does that, and I think you see that with how he can shift around.
On the ground they go, and the ground attack has been working really well. And guess who once again? And Najee Adams this time is getting it all the way inside the 5-yard line down to about the 3.5.
Number 36, Tyler Alon.
And you go ahead and you credit the offensive line for opening up the holes, but you have to also credit the receivers downfield as they're sustaining their blocks, which is always one of the most difficult blocks for a team, is the wide receiver downfield because of the amount of time until the ball gets up on you. But there you got a good look. Chase Holmes down the field, holding and sustaining his blocks to allow Najee Adams to gain extra yards.
So timeout and a 12-0 score in favor of Easton. Glad you could join us here for the D11Sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. Hope you're been following us on Twitter at D11Sports. Bringing some great things, and again, just getting started, and we had some technical difficulties earlier, and we hope we brought you all back, and obviously everything is learning curves as you go, and we're excited to be back on the air once again. We look forward to, what's to come with not only this game, but the games down the road, and, building a foundation and giving the opportunity to students, not only in the Lehigh Valley, but, in the Pocono, Schuylkill County, and all of District 11, where, again, I'm going to say if you're under a rock, but, we're out there, and, we're getting 3 to 6 kids from every high school, and that's our plan, to be reporters in the field, to come out there and to support your student athletes, support your school, and at the same time, better communicate and better build a resume reel for you, on our D11Sports.com website. Dave Micah has done a tremendous job. I always say he's in the background doing things, and but he's done a great job, with the students as well. So jump on board. Reach out to Dave or myself, or reach out to your athletic department. And wide open for the touchdown from 10 yards is Chase Holmes. That was easy.
Yeah, Chase Holmes has a nice little slant route there as Assad Brown runs his bubble screen. But I want to credit the running backs, Samir Jackson, number 8, and number 25, Zachary Manoli, stepping up and picking up the blitz coming from the Pocono Mountain West linebackers to give Cole Transu time to sit there comfortably and find Holmes on his slant and deliver a ball, and he just walks in for the touchdown.
And that comes at the 6:03 mark to increase the lead to 18-0. Extra point pending. And that one is up and good. So with 6:03 on the clock, Red Rovers go on top by the score of 19-0.
It looks like third time's a charm there for the extra point team getting it in. You go back on that drive, Al, you go all the way back to the beginning. They were sitting there at 1st and 25. They didn't have enough guys on the field, called a timeout, had a personal foul penalty, started the drive at 1st and 25, way deep in their own territory, and just able to just capitalize on some things, third down conversions, to work their way up there into that touchdown.
So little by little, Easton's starting to get in the groove. And, and sometimes when we talk about this, sometimes you know, it takes a while for you to get into that rhythm. You're playing on Saturday afternoon. You usually, well, I don't think they had any Saturday games last year, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if Easton had any Saturday games at all last year. If they did, it may have been one, but I'm pretty sure they didn't have any.
I'm not sure. I don't think they did, because they do have 2 this year. They were talking about the schedule. Both Central Catholic is one of them. I believe Bethlehem Catholic is the other. They had both of them at home last year, so those would have been the only potential Saturday games.
So they have 3 this year, including this one.
Yes.
So that's a big difference, and not only that, you're playing at noon. So, you know, you're not used to playing at noon at all.
No. And then, you, like Coach Bradle said, you change the routine. You know, I know every sport's probably the same, but you get in a routine. But football, I think, is a little bit different because you play one time a week. It's not like basketball where you might have 2-3 games a week, or another sport you have, you know, wrestling, you have a couple matches. Soccer, you have a few games a week. Football, you have one. And it's, you get in your routine, you know, you do things the same way over and over. This kind of throws it off a little bit, so it's a little bit of an adjustment for both the coaches and the players.
Yeah, without question. So 6 minutes, under 6 minutes to play here in the opening half of football, a 19-0 lead in favor of Easton. Again, what happens here is, Matt, you're looking at the scoreboard. We said this before. You're at 6 minutes, and you're still in the game. But this has to be a long drive, and you know you're kind of pinned back once again. And Easton's defense is swarming again, and they're building more confidence. And if you're, you know, Coach McCarroll on the far side, you're looking at the clock. You just want to go in the locker room at 19-0. You don't want to give up a 3-and-out here at all. Trying to move the football.
Correct, and I don't think you want to give Easton that, like you said, Easton another opportunity to get their offense on the field. You need to sustain something here, but that's not the starting play that you needed. You saw Elijah Benton from his outside linebacker position come up on another screen play, making a stop behind the line of scrimmage, being very aggressive on that pass play.
So a timeout once again at the 5:26 mark. Get you through our scoreboard.
Excuse me. Can't use that.
So we got Caddy and Northern Lehigh will be a Thursday game. That'll be a 7:10 start. And then on Saturday the 7th, there'll be North Schuylkill at Wyomissing at 1:30. On Thursday the 12th of September, we'll have Salisbury at Saucon Valley, 7 o'clock start. On Thursday the following week, on the 19th of September, we'll have Panther Valley at Lehighton, a 7:10 start. And then on Saturday the 28th, we'll have Stroudsburg and Allen at 1:30 at J. Bernie Crum. We'll be back up here for an interesting matchup between Deerhoof and Pocono Mountain West. That'll be on October the 5th. It'll be a little cooler. If you're cold now, October 5th, you better bring like a winter coat.
Well, I will dress for the weather then.
It's a noon start. And then Saturday the 12th of October, suddenly I have Penn Argyll at 1:30 on the hill. Friday on the 18th on the high snap here, looking to throw, just gets it out. And is that incomplete? There's a flag on the play.
Incomplete. And looks like we might have roughing the passer.
It was almost intercepted as well.
Oh, penalty against Pocono Mountain.
Is that against Pocono Mountain?
On Friday the 18th, it's Whitehall at Liberty, and then we finish things off on October 26th, Wilson at Notre Dame, a 2 o'clock start. So our schedule looking forward, our D11sports.com high school football game of the week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine.
Penalty is against the Panthers.
Bray was fortunate on that one. He threw the ball out, but Elijah Benton was right there with the receiver battling for the ball, knocks it out. But then, as we said, a penalty at the end, unsportsmanlike against Pocono Mountain West.
This is the dead air.
You know, the worst case scenario, you're Pocono Mountain West is this. You know, you're not only you're pinned back, now you're pinned back even more. You know, in the second and, you know, a bunch. You have to get up to about the 28-yard line to move that chain.
And not only that, but then you also have the clock stop, which is going to give Easton possibly the offense another opportunity to get back on the field.
So second down and more than 20. Bray looking to throw, rolls off the back foot, and that hangs up there long enough for TJ Armand to come out and get it. So you get a chunk of that back.
You get a big chunk of that back, but still, Easton, I think, were happy that they were able to hold there, force the punt now, give their offense a good amount of time here on potentially a very short field.
Fourth down for the Panthers.
Solid punt. This is going to get a good roll. Look at this roll. Concepcion does it, and that is Price takes it, gets drilled, absolutely drilled at around the 42-yard line. Wow.
And it looked like it was number 8, Shamar Hyatt, coming downfield on coverage, hitting Freeze on the sideline.
You've seen some big hits. That was pretty big.
That was a big one.
Yeah.
He upended them. But good to see the Easton Alden Freeze just pop right back up and get ready to go.
Again, 5:03 on the clock. So get the ball at the 40. A must stop here on this drive.
I think if you're Easton offense, you're going to take your time too. Just under 5 minutes and a little over 55 yards to go for the touchdown. I think they'll take their time and just work their way methodically down the field. But this would be a great time for Pocono Mountain West to try to capitalize, maybe cause a turnover, get the ball going back.
Second down and 6, the ball at the 44. Toss far side.
Transfers pass complete to number 12.
Knocked out of bounds to Javian Thompson.
Who's pushed out of bounds by the Panthers. Third down and 2.
They're playing this drive without Najee Adams, who's on the sidelines. Well, defensively, huge here for the Panthers. On the ground, and they come up swarming. Great job by Jonathan Owens. It didn't make anything happen as he jumped on Zakar Manoli.
Now, this is a different situation with 4th and long. Yep, you're going to see the Easton punt team come out. See if Pastula can get another big punt off and pin the Pocono Mountain West offense deep in their own territory.
So the Panthers get the job done, and they force Easton to punt. And this one will take a Pharaoh bounce for the Panthers. Up across the 30, up towards the 32-yard line.
Where it is down.
So we mentioned about how Easton was going to methodically take their time moving down the field. I think Pocono Mountain West still with 3.5 minutes, not really able to do much offensively, but if they can put something together here, go into the locker room, maybe with some sort of points on the board, some score, and then they come back out in the second half and receive the opening kickoff, you can look at a different ball game then.
I agree with that totally. But right now, they have not got past midfield yet today. The ball sits at the 33. Looking to throw, and again has to go off the back foot. It hangs up there for a while, but the reception's made by Rowland, and say goodbye as he is gone for the touchdown, 67 yards. And that wakes up the crowd here.
And again, we just said you let them hang around just little by little. They're going to chip away. They get the big play from their playmakers on the outside there with number 7, Isaac. I'm sorry, number 4, Roland.
Yeah, Bayvon Roland with the huge touchdown.
I think he's going the other way.
extra point coming up, and that one is up by Joel Wyrick, and that is good. And all of a sudden, we got ourselves a game at 19-7 at the 3:24 mark. We talked about that, Matt, where we mentioned, you know, you finally stop Easton. You have to have something happen. You don't want to get the ball back, but I don't know if they were expecting that big play that fast.
I don't think they did, and I think, you know, they were able to they're fortunate enough to capitalize off of that. But now you have to look at this and try to take the scenario. 3.5 minutes left. Defense is playing pretty solid now. You know, they had a real good stop there on third down, forced a punt. If Easton doesn't have Najee Adams coming back on the field, do you get another stop? Do you use your timeouts, try to get the ball back, give your offense another opportunity before the half ends, knowing you get the ball back in the second half? So it'd be interesting to see how Coach McCarroll plays this out.
So 19-7, 3:24 on the clock. And a short kickoff, and Holden Fry's with it as he gets up towards about the 35-yard line.
As you said, the crowd getting into this one now, they feel they have something moving in their direction, and they have some momentum. See if they can capitalize it on the field.
I want to thank everyone for joining us again. Some technical difficulties early on, and it looks like we're back at it strong, and we are looking forward to the rest of this game. And right now it's 19-7, so if you're tuning in at a great time right now. That one is complete. I'll tell you what, Chase Holmes has made some great catches so far this afternoon. He's been impressive.
He has, and the one thing you want to look at as a coach too is you're seeing him, he's making contested catches, which I think are the most impressive, because he's not wide open. He has guys hanging on his back, hanging on his arms, and he's able to concentrate, use his hands, catch the ball away from his body.
Well, breaks out of the first one, but not the second. Swarming and continuing is Cesar Lewis.
He was finally wrapped up by number 15.
Yeah, he tried to escape the pressure there. Much better job handling the ball and making sure he doesn't give that away, holding it in tight, but he couldn't get away from the second defender coming in on him.
So 2:30 on the clock, if you're wondering. Easton with a pair of timeouts and the Panthers with just one. First down marker at the 40. Second down and long. Quick toss near side. Trying to gain a little bit of that back. And that, again, is not that much. And Matt, add a momentum swing a little bit. You talk about West, and they also talk about right now that Najee Adams is not in the game. You can notice a huge difference with the Easton offense.
You can. You're losing a little bit of that spark from the backfield position. They're not able to hit the line. Doesn't seem like there's much trust in the running game right now, and trying to put the ball in Cole Transhu's hand, letting him throw the ball and use his receivers. And there's some opportunities there, but just that one sack just put them back a little bit too far.
Third down and 22, the ball at the 38-yard line. Looking to throw, middle part of the field, that one's intercepted. Picked off. Caleb Monaco has it, and Monaco is going to race down the sidelines with the big INT. What a change of momentum here with 1:16 on the clock. There is a flag on the play. I believe this was initially on Easton, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it was thrown in the area of holding, so I believe we're going to see that be the call potentially. But it looked like a miscommunication on that play with the Easton offense. Transhu throwing the ball with the receiver not looking behind yet, and Monaco just read it the entire way.
face mask ball against the Panthers.
Big penalty. That's the biggest penalty of the day, Matt. You're thinking, A, you have the INT and maybe on the return, but this is not.
And what's fortunate here, though, is that Pocono Mountain West will gain possession of the ball.
Actually, they will get it. Yeah, it was after. Okay. But thought that flag came in before the play.
First and 10 for the Panthers.
Maybe I'm wrong. So the ball at the 38. Actually, the 42. Bray gonna throw, has all the time in the world, goes right back, and a great job coming up and knocking that away was Elijah Benton.
Yeah, Elijah Benton just able to get a fingertip on that because Bray had Monaco coming down the sideline out of the backfield on the play action. He read it the entire way. So you have Pocono Mountain West here with 1 timeout left with 1:11 going. Still have an opportunity to move down the field and get some points.
On the ground again. Not much there by Monaco with 1:06. Again, 1 timeout remaining.
I think you have to see Pocono Mountain West move a little bit quicker here.
3rd down and 7.
Just taking their time, not moving as quickly as we expected.
So 40 seconds, I agree with you with that 1 timeout. It's the first time he's been down here. So Bray gonna roll, back foot, has a receiver, and he connects. And that's rolling again, and they will get the first down with 29 seconds left.
It looks like Pocono Mountain West is going to line up and spike the ball to stop the clock. As soon as they wind the clock, they got to go.
I'm not sure if they're going to. They are. Well, they almost looked like they were going to just do that. Who was that? Dan Marino that did that? Or was it Brett Favre? Who was that? You know,
that's a good. I was going to say Dan Marino.
You know, the fake spike and the touchdown.
It was against the Jets, though, wasn't it?
It's always against the Jets. Everything happens against the Jets. So they spike it there with 24 seconds left. 19-7, Matt. You do have 1 timeout left. Any which way, you want to make sure that you come out with some score, a score here. Even if it's a field goal, you still want to get some points.
Yeah, I think you do want to get some points, and I think Pocono Mountain West, you're going to look at Roland. He's your playmaker right now.
Here's Monaco, makes a turn, does he get out of bounds? He stays in bounds and now knocks out of bounds with 17.9 ticks.
So you get a good look there at Caleb Monaco, just fighting out of the tackle Tamir Jackson from Easton, keeping his balance and able to get some more yardage, and then the most important thing, getting out of bounds. Saves that timeout, gives them an extra play.
So 17 seconds left. And gonna go up top, has a receiver. That was incomplete. So he had a receiver there, but just could not connect.
Yeah, Isaac Menson, number 7, had a step on Assad Brown. Just overthrew it a little bit too much.
Now,
it looks like they're gonna take the points here they're gonna try a field goal, being that it's 4th down.
So it's Joel Wyrick. How far is that, Matt? 33?
Setting it down at the 33, 33-yard field goal.
And a timeout called here by PM West with 14.5 seconds. When I was talking to Coach McCarroll during the week, he talked about his kickers, and he said, one, usually we do extra points and everything else. We do have one, that can kick up to 40. These soccer players as well. So see what he does here if he shuffles the deck, and who he puts in there at the same time.
And not to mention, let's see, does he roll the dice here and throw the offense back on the field? and maybe take a shot. I'd be willing to bet no, since they don't have another timeout to work with. But you never know. In this type of game, you have the momentum, take a shot and go for it.
So 14.5 seconds, a 33-yard field goal attempt.
It looks like it's Joel Wyrick on the field attempting the field goal.
And I think Easton's going to try to freeze him as well. So, all right, so the rule, you know, we've been doing this for a while. You're freezing the kicker. I don't care if it's the NFL, high school. You know, what do you think? You like it? Do you not like it? You've been seeing it for a while now. You wait to the last second. You see those guys coming up like this. People can't see me at home what I'm doing to you, but I'm going like this, you know, to the official. And you know, it works sometimes and sometimes it doesn't. But
I think when you look at it, though, as you go down levels, so if you start in the NFL, those guys are paid professionals. I don't think that pressure really makes a difference to them. They're kicking pressure kicks all the time. Go to college, maybe it becomes a little bit more effective, but now you have high school kids out here where, you know, you have your teammates are looking at you, they're relying on you. Not that they're not in the other levels, but then you go to school and then you have your whole fan base, your whole community coming and talking about the kick, and it's. I always say with the kickers, it's such an unfortunate position because so much pressure is put on this one kick, one play. But what about all the other 60 plays throughout the game where 100%. Other things could have happened?
All right, so here's Wyrick, and that one gets blocked. So the ball gets blocked, and coming in, the first guy in there was R.J. Gisler.
And it did look like he had a good foot on that to get it through the uprights. It was going to have a chance. But I think Coach McCarroll's looking at this and saying, you know, momentum is going in our way. We need to continue on this, and I think that's going to be the conversation at halftime. Now it looks like Easton's going to line up to run a play as opposed to taking a knee.
Looking to throw, goes far side and completes it there to Assad Brown, and Brown gets knocked down. Again, if you're Pocono Mountain West, I think you're getting a little more energy, a little more fire from Pocono Mountain West. You know, we're at the half.
That'll take us to the end of the first half.
And, you know, Easton, who came in as the favorite, you know, by many people, you know, is, you know, leading right now 19-7. So with that, 19-7 is your score. We'll take a break here and be back with more from Pocono Mountain West High School. Not wearing stripes, but they're still working. Officials coming together here at J. Bernie Crum Stadium in Allentown as they get ready for the 2019 football season.
Today, this is our annual on-field clinic where we come out and we work on mechanics and we work on the new rules to try and get a good understanding of all the changes that we might be faced with in the upcoming season, so that we are at our best when the season starts.
Obviously, one of the biggest rule changes is the 40-second. I know you guys have been practicing that. How important is that for all the officials to know what's going on here?
Well, obviously, it's very important. Timing and the clocks are one of the most important aspects of the game. And if we have errors, clock errors, that just really affects the tempo of the game. It affects the way the game is administered, and it just has a very negative effect on the game overall.
How important is a day like this for your officials?
It's ultimately important. You know, the 40-second play clocks are brand new to us. Before, we've always just worked with 25-second clocks. So now we have to know whether it's going to be a 40-second clock or a 25-second clock on different types of plays, and we all have to be on the same page in doing that. So yeah, it's very important.
You talk about being on the same page. Obviously, the coaches know what's going on. Some of the fans have no clue what's going on yet with the 40-second, and they're going to be seeing some rule changes. How are they going to know what's going on?
Well, hopefully, as we go through time, and hopefully, once if the game's on TV, at least the TV commentators will have some idea of the 40-second clock and the 25-second clocks. But for the fans in the stands, it's not a whole lot different than what's being done in college. It's not a whole lot different than what's being done in the NFL. So if they're watching those games on Saturdays and Sundays, they will be somewhat familiar with what's going to happen at the high school game now with the 40-second clocks.
How many officials do you have here today, and what do you want them to take out of it most?
I don't know the exact count. We probably had somewhere around 75, 80 guys here today doing this. Hopefully today they come out of it with a good understanding of what's expected and what's needed to administer the game properly with the new play clock rules. I find it best. Just put your thumb right on your thumb. Just really come right on your... Hey, pretty slick. What we're going to do is we're going to go through game situations, and I want you to show me what you would be doing, okay, in that game situation with that play.
If we have a timeout, okay, now we need 25. Say that the play clock's on the field here, and it's set at 40. So as a referee, I have to pump it up to 25. The back judge and the referee has to pay attention when the play clock is on the field.
If the box is slow getting down, put a beanbag down at the hash mark, at the line, on your ticket.
Both sides?
Both sides. Okay. And that way, if yours gets kicked, hopefully his didn't. Okay.
Yep. Now let's say the ball's flopping, you still didn't get a ball. It's getting down to 20, 19. We add time back up. One hand or two?
One hand is 25.
One hand,
At that point, we stop, we shut the game down. Right. Okay. We shut the game down, we reset to 25.
Right, okay. And then go from
there. And then, if it was inbounds, we wind it up and go.
Right.
If it was out of bounds, in other words, if the clock was not running, if the game clock was not running, we still let it not run. It goes on to snap.
Right.
To understand with the 40-second play clock now. So play goes to that side, ball's dead, right? Mike's got it, his hand went up, right? We're gonna rotate the ball in. So guy gets tackled outside the numbers, ball goes, ball's down, umpires have to get back. As soon as the ball touches the ground, the offense can run a play. So we have to be conscious of that, right? There's no, hold on a second, there is, just so everybody's aware of what the rule is, there is no rule this year that is affording the defense an opportunity to line up or substitute. So we're all aware of that. The whole point to the 40-second clock is as soon as the ball goes down, the team is able to play football. So we have to kind of change our thought process a little bit from the old school, chop it in, working at that steady pace, right? We have to be conscious of that. But we also don't want to be rushed by the other team. Just because this team is running a hurry-up, no-huddle offense, this ball rotation still runs the same way. You come in, you're setting the ball down. We're not moving any faster or any slower based on the tempo of the offense. But we have to maintain a steady tempo. Does that make sense?
Concussions are serious. 3 million sport, recreation, and auto accident-related concussions happen each year. 20% of high school athletes who play contact sports will suffer a concussion during the season. St. Luke's is the region's leader in assessing, managing, and treating concussions in athletes and non-athletes of all ages. Our multi-specialty teams of experts collaborate to care for you using the latest treatment options. Don't play head games, take concussion seriously. Call St. Luke's to schedule an appointment with one of our concussion experts.
Thanks, Jack.
Mike's right here. But I don't know about the answer. How are you, Kyle? Are they stopping?
St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Extraordinary care in motion.
Are you searching for a place where you belong? Where your fitness matters? Regardless of what shape you're in, St. Luke's Fitness and Sports Performance Centers have a professional team that will help you meet or exceed your fitness goals. With locations throughout the region and nationally recognized fitness experts, you'll become a member of a supportive fitness community. We call it Extraordinary Fitness. Visit us online to start your free 7-day membership and let us help you thrive.
Hall of Fame pitcher Steve Carlton knows what it takes to exceed expectations. He knows what it means to be part of a team that rises above the competition. He knows a champion. Steve Carlton knows St. Luke's Orthopedic Care.
So you're hurting. Is it your back or your knee? That old football injury? Get the rehabilitation you need. In most cases, you won't need a script from your doctor. In Pennsylvania and New Jersey, a law called Direct Access lets you see a physical therapist without a prescription. And if your insurance requires a prescription, physical therapy at St. Luke's will work with your doctor to get you the care you need that is covered. Let us speed up your recovery. We're in your neighborhood. Call Physical Therapy at St. Luke's.
Hi, I'm Joey Draper, student reporter for D11 Sports, and I'm here with Dave Micah. Dave, overall thoughts on Easton's great start in the first half?
Well, Easton did what they had to do. They came out, they ran the ball behind that great big offensive line. They finished drives, and that's what they needed to do. You got to give Pocono Mountain West credit. Their defense really hung in there, and they finally got that big play for the touchdown. And then a turnover, they attempted a field goal, missed it, but going in halftime, they got all the momentum, and in the third quarter, they're going to be starting with the kickoff.
The kickoff is right, and Pocono Mountain West is hoping to get momentum from the second half to carry on into the third and fourth quarters. The current score is 19-7, and Pocono Mountain West is hoping to make it even more of an exciting football game. Dave, what do you think is going to go on in the second half?
Well, one of the things is that we saw was Easton's starting they took his pads off, so I'm not sure what's going on there. What type of injury? Is he going to be back the second half? So that's a big loss for Easton. They have other great runners. These guys need to step up and try to fill the void there. But they have that great offensive line. And if I'm Easton, I'm still going to try to pound the ball, try to wear down that Pocono Mountain West defense. But I'll tell you what, if you had to say MVPs, Pocono Mountain West, their defense has definitely been the MVP of the first half.
That is correct. Now, Najee Adams is the running back for Easton, who we currently do not know the status of. He is the one that we saw get the shoulder pads taken off going into the locker room. Now, Dave, if they lose him, how do you think Easton can recover and continue to keep their momentum and keep the lead?
Well, they definitely have a lot of running backs. They were getting them in early. So these guys are going to have to pick it up, get more carries. But again, like I said, you may see Easton with their quarterback move out of the pocket a lot. You might see him do some running, throwing the ball a little more. And again, Pocono Mountain West, their defenses played, pretty well in the first half.
If Pocono Mountain West can keep their defense up, we're in for one heck of a ball game in the second half. For myself, Joey Draper, Dave Micah, thank you for listening in to D11 Sports.
Are serious. 3 million sport, recreation, and auto accident-related concussions happen each year. 20% of high school athletes who play contact sports will suffer a concussion during the season. St. Luke's is the region's leader in assessing, managing, and treating concussions in athletes and non-athletes of all ages. Our multi-specialty teams of experts collaborate to care for you using the latest treatment options. Don't play head games, take concussion seriously. Call St. Luke's to schedule an appointment with one of our concussion experts.
St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Extraordinary care in motion.
Searching for a place where you belong? Where your fitness matters? Regardless of what shape you're in, St. Luke's Fitness and Sports Performance Centers have a professional team that will help you meet or exceed your fitness goals. With locations throughout the region and nationally recognized fitness experts, you'll become a member of a supportive fitness community. We call it Extraordinary Fitness. Visit us online to start your free 7-day membership and let us help you thrive.
Hall of Fame pitcher Steve Carlton knows what it takes to exceed expectations. He knows what it means to be part of a team that rises above the competition. He knows a champion. Steve Carlton knows St. Luke's Orthopedic Care.
So you're hurting. Is it your back or your knee? That old football injury? Get the rehabilitation you need. In most cases, you won't need a script from your doctor. In Pennsylvania and New Jersey, a law called Direct Access lets you see a physical therapist without a prescription. And if your insurance requires a prescription, physical therapy at St. Luke's will work with your doctor to get you the care you need that is covered. Let us speed up your recovery. We're in your neighborhood. Call Physical Therapy at St. Luke's.
Well, we're at the half here at PM West, and it's 19-7 in favor of the Easton Red Rovers. Carlo, Matt Evancho back with you for the D11Sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Network. And hope you're enjoying our telecast right now, live streaming, whether it's on your iPad, your iPhone, your tablet, or if you're streaming to your TV. And we're excited to be a part of it, and obviously learning curves and everything that we do. And the signal looking great once again, and we thank everyone for being a part of this. And Matt, an interesting first half. You go up 19-0, all of a sudden there's a big play in the game, and then things start to change a little bit. Your thoughts of the first half?
Yeah, I think Pocono Mountain did just enough to hang around and give themselves an opportunity. Easton was rolling; they had things going, and we lose Najee Adams there in offense. We don't see where if he comes back. I think that's going to be a big thing there. I think we trying to figure out what's going on with them, and then. They were able to hold on just enough. And I think the Pocono Mountain West has the momentum right now. If they can get this back and get the opening kickoff and do something, we'll see what happens with this game.
Now, Kyle Craig from the Lehigh Valley Live doing a great job and getting us some numbers as well. Transu 13-15, $133, a touchdown, and the INT. Overall thoughts on how he's played today?
I think he's been doing just enough. He's been holding onto the ball. He's been able to do what he needs to do. And Easton, the coaching staff, is putting him in situations for him to be successful. And I think they need to do that as he continues to grow into the position.
You mentioned the running Adams, 10 for 100. So he's effective with the touchdown, but he's not in the game. We'll see what happens here in the second half. And Holmes, 4 catches and 60 yards and a score. He's been pretty good.
And like I said before, I think the one thing that's most impressive is the fact that he's making catches that are contested. It's not just he's running by people. He's catching the ball in traffic and making things happen, knowing he's going to get hit. So let's see him have to take a bigger role now, depending on what happens with Adams.
All right, what about Coach McCarroll? Obviously has to be pleased. Bray, 8-14, $113, a touchdown and INT. Monaco, 7 carries, 20 yards. Obviously you want something different there, but the offensive line, defensive line's been playing pretty well, when you think about it, but the offensive line has to get in a little more holes.
They do. I think defensively for Pocono Mountain West, they're really playing well. I mean, they gave up 19 points, but they're contested points. I think offensively, though, offensive line, you can't rely on rolling with big plays. 67-yard touchdown reception. It can't just be big play. They have to get the offense going and be a little more consistent.
Yeah, you talk about rolling. 3 catches, 84 yards. Easton as a team with 220 yards. Pocono Mountain West with 139 yards. So, we're at the half right now. It's 19-7. Getting ready for more action. We'll go back down on the field and get you ready to go for quarter number 3. It should be an interesting third quarter, especially the beginning part of the third quarter, and we'll see what happens as we go back down to the field.
Okay. Have fun.
So as we get ready for the start of the third quarter, I want to thank, again, Joey Draper for being a part of the broadcast, and Emmaus reporter doing a great job with us and making his trip up here from Emmaus to be part. Did a good job with Dave. That's always hard. Dave Micah down on the sidelines with him, and I don't know how much you can, you can learn from him. But he did a great job getting some words out of Dave because he's a quiet guy. I also want to thank, St. Luke's Sports Network, Health Network, and St. Luke's Sports Medicine, and John Hoff, and everyone that is making this, a reality, and they've done such a great job. And there's so much about student athletes and schools and giving back, and we have a great thing going and a great opportunity. If you're looking and interested also to be part of the broadcast, down the road, you can reach Dave or I and Al at D11Sports.com or Dave at D11Sports.com. And if you're interested in advertising and be part of the broadcast, and obviously if you're a student reporter interested in being a reporter, you can visit your athletic director for more information. All District 11 schools are interested. We're up to about 32 students, and we had 7 or 8 students out yesterday, covering a bunch of different games. So we were really excited about that, at the same time. And, it's just a great opportunity. We had some little technical difficulties earlier, but, a great job of the guys, from the Vern Sports Network, from Alverna University in Reading, Bruce Badgley, the executive producer, Louis Galan, the show producer, the cameraman, and Tom Glitch and Scott Smith for getting us back up on top. And our live stream is looking good, and good job here by Pocono Mountain West to start things off. And, Matt, you look at this start here. You go in the locker room, you have the momentum, you get your kick blocked, but at the same time, when you come right back, this is the best field position they've had all day.
Yeah, to be able to come out and start with that field position, and Monaco nearly was able to break free of that tackle, but to be able to come out and have something going successfully, I think that's what Coach McCarroll had to focus on in the locker room, and we'll see how that plays out in the third quarter.
Again, I want to thank Kyle Craig from the Lehigh Valley Live for helping us out with the halftime statistics. Always nice to see him. Looking to throw. They're going right for it, and a big stick, but about a 9.5-yard pickup right into the hands of Dylan Colford. Now, Colford, again, playing for Joshua Altimos. Altimos, who's an all-league tight end, is not playing today. He's actually on the sidelines, wearing number 22. So good job by the backup coming in there and getting the job done, because he may see some action even next week.
And this is what I think Pocono Mountain West had to do coming out of the gates. Get the ball moving around and move it and put it in manageable situations.
Well, as we say that, when this one doesn't go the way they planned, it'll be a 3rd down and about 3.5, 4 yards.
And that time it was the interior defensive line of Easton getting a push and getting Monaco behind the line of scrimmage. But even with that loss, being at 3rd and short, puts Pocono Mountain West where they can do something. They have a lot of options that they can either run the ball or throw the ball.
Underway in the 3rd quarter. 3rd down and a long 3. And they flip this one back to Monaco. Monaco has some space and gets driven out of bounds, but gets the 1st down and moves the chains.
That time driven out of bounds by Easton, number 14, Elijah Benton, into the Pocono Mountain West sideline. But that's the start for Pocono Mountain West, the Panthers, what they needed. Mixing the ball with, 1 run or 2 runs, 1 pass, getting it around to different people. Just can't rely on Monaco because teams will key on him. They need to get other people involved, and they have been today.
So get across midfield, looking to throw, and right back to Monaco. Monaco breaks a tackle, has some space, goes upfield and pushes forward, and that is close to another 1st down.
And that shows you the elusiveness of Monaco as he had Tamir Jackson barreling in on him in the backfield. Looked like he was going to catch him behind the line of scrimmage, but able to elude that tackle and get a real nice big gain there.
Yeah, just 2 minutes into the contest in the 3rd quarter, and really, I think it's going to be a measurement here. So, Matt, let's, you talk about it. Jeff Brado, they go in the locker room for that lengthy period of time. They're not in the field yet. West is on the field, and all of a sudden you see this drive going. What's going through Jeff Brado's mind at this point?
I think he's okay. I think he's just thinking about what I need to do. What defensively they'll settle in. They knew Pocono Mountain West had to come out with a lot of energy after the ending of the 1st half. I think they need to get their energy back. They need to get their swagger back and get back out and play their brand of football. And I think he talked about that in the beginning of the game too. That's what they wanted to do.
So they do indeed get the necessary yardage for the 1st down. At halftime we had a chance to go over the 40-second clock and a couple of, we did during the week. We were with the officials at J. Bernie Crum Stadium. We spent the afternoon with them, or should I say the evening with them. Had about 90 officials there and, talking about it more and showing it. And, again, referees are used to be getting yelled at, and they shouldn't be. They're doing their work. They're there at full force. They're learning the 40-second clock. They're learning all different rules, and we're learning a big play here downfield, and it sticks up there. And a good job defensively by Jaden Kelly to prevent that from being caught. But, back to the officials, we met up with Jim Haney and Frankie D'Angelo earlier, and we're going to be doing a lot of insight with the officials down the road. But, they're working, and they're moving, and they are, educating themselves. And I think as fans too, you have to be educated on the rules as well, because if you're not, you're yelling the whole time, but sometimes you're yelling at the wrong rule.
Exactly, and I think you see that'll happen a lot where you're yelling about something and it's not quite the rule, it's not quite what it's supposed to be. But I think having that will allow fans to become more educated and be able to do some more things with it.
Looking to throw, that just hangs up there, but it hangs up there long enough for the reception into the hands of Isaac Menshaw. So Menshaw down to about the 14-yard line, and Pocono Mountain West in business, down 19-7 with 9:49 left here in quarter number 3.
You're starting to see Bright use those weapons on the outside, move the ball around to multiple receivers, and not just allow them to key on Monaco.
From the 13, speaking of Monaco, tries to make the cut and actually escapes the first one, now drives forward inside the 5-yard line.
We mentioned earlier in the game how Coach McCarroll wanted to go into halftime in a different situation than they were last year. Last year, down 35-7, kids felt the game was over. This time they go into the locker room down 19-7, just get our field goal block before the half. They're in this game, and I think you're seeing the confidence being built play by play.
High snap, and just get it off, and not much there by Monaco. And obviously if you're Monaco, and Joey Draper mentioned this earlier, you've rushed for almost 1,800 yards a year ago. You have to be a little bit frustrated at this point, but it looks like this drive at least starting to get a little more open and breaking some tackles as well.
I think Coach McCarroll, I believe, has really prepared Monaco for this game, knowing that getting those yards were going to be difficult. It was going to be a challenge. He had to be patient, and I think we're seeing a lot of patience out of him. So, credit Coach McCarroll for preparing him for this type of game.
They can get a first down without a touchdown, but here's Monaco. He'll say, why? Because I'm going to go in for 5 yards and the score. Monaco on the 5-yard touchdown, and that cuts the lead to 19-13 as the Panthers come up big here on the opening drive of the third quarter at 8:21.
They overload the right side of the offense with the fullback and the H-back, and just pitch the ball to Monaco, let him find the seam, let him find a little opening, and he does the rest on his own.
Here's the extra point, and that one is up, and that one is through. With 8:21 on the clock, it's 19-14 in favor of Easton.
We mentioned about at the end of the first half how if Pocono Mountain West was allowed to come down and they were able to build some momentum, they get the score, build momentum, going at halftime, getting the ball back. That's a great opening drive for Pocono Mountain West in the third quarter. See if the defense can come out and match that same energy that the offense just had on the field.
Now, what we don't know, and I know Joey mentioned this before, we don't know the status of Najee Adams. We know we saw the shoulder pads off earlier, and he rushed for 100 yards on 10 carries. That becomes a big part of this as well.
I think it does, because if he's not back in the game for Easton, I think you're losing out on Easton's main offensive weapon. Other players are going to have to be called upon to step up and make some things happen.
Where it's set to kick off for the Panthers.
Get another short kick. And picked up. Some yards there by Freeze. So right around the 40-yard line for Alden Freeze. What a great day on the opening weekend of high school football here at Pocono Mountain West High School. Al DeCarlo alongside Matt Evancho, Joey Draper, Maya's student, sophomore, part of our D11 Sports student internship program on the sidelines for us. And the good sign is Najee Adams is back in the game, so we'll see what happens here. Again, left for the majority of the second quarter. And that's when things started to change. Start things from the 40. Low snap. Here comes the rush. Transu looks off the back of the foot, has a receiver, gets behind the defense and connects. Wow. Right into the hands of his favorite target right now, Chase Holmes. Gets all the way down inside the 10-yard line and about 60-yard reception.
And I think that goes to show what Coach Brado told us about Cole Transu. And one of the main things that he said about him before the game was he has no fear. And he said sometimes that's to a fault. And you see it there where he's not afraid to take chances. Able to elude pressure, sees Chase Holmes, even with his defender. As a quarterback, my receiver's open in that situation, and he takes advantage of that.
So 50-yard pickup, 51-yard pickup to the 9-yard line. Just like that, it's first and goal, and just like that, they give the ball to Najee Adams.
Najee Adams on the carry.
And Adams with under 8 to play. Gets a little closer.
It'll be interesting to see how they use Adams, knowing that he's, maybe not 100% healthy. Will they just allow him to be somewhat of a decoy throughout this half?
Second down, back to Adams, and they just focus on him. And Monaco and Preston Green on the stop, so it brings up an interesting third down here.
Took a 4, isn't it?
Yeah, it's at 4.
They figure 4 down territory here without question. Third down, ball sits at around the 4-yard line. And Sue, the toss, and that is complete for the touchdown into the hands of Zion Jones. So 4-yard reception, and Easton answers here.
And nice little play action, using, as I said earlier, using Adams as a decoy, roll away from that action, and he has Zion Jones just leaking out into the flat, and Transu gives him a nice ball that he can catch for the 4-yard touchdown.
Anthony Mercillo with the extra point attempt for the Red Rovers. And that one is good.
The extra point is good.
So the Red Rovers answer after a 5-yard touchdown run by Caleb Monaco made it 19-14. It's now 26-14 Easton. That comes with 6:30 on the clock.
It'll be important for Pocono Mountain West offense now to come out and try to match that drive again, try to get some points back, and then allow their defense to get the chance of making the stop later on.
Now you look at PM West as they come back onto the field. You look at that clock, and we always say this with any game, when you're kind of the underdog, and again, it's a new year, so you never know who brings anything. But a lot of people, and even Coach McCarroll, saying Easton's going to be a good football team, and they know when it comes up to the north, they feel that they can contend, but they wanted to see how they were going to do against Easton. At the same time, you look at that clock and you're looking at the scoreboard, you're like, we're midway through the third quarter, and we're kind of closing in the gap. The difference was Najee Adams was out. That's when they came back, and then Najee Adams back in. You can see that he makes a difference. But talk about Easton QB. Obviously, Transu is doing a great job right now. He's the guy.
He is, and I think what he's doing is just providing that leadership that offense needs. Unfortunately, when Najee Adams was out, you lose that main playmaker, you kind of become one-dimensional. They were only able to do one thing. They need the whole stable of receivers and running backs and skill players to make this offense go, because they need to remain balanced throughout the year. They can't just rely on running or passing.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. And again, every drive is really important when it comes to PM West. We get a quick break and we get right back at it. Thursday night we'll be in Slatington. Catasauqua and Slatington on Thursday night. Part of our D11sports.com high school football game of the week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. Looking to throw, has time, middle part of the field, and Roland has been the go-to guy. When we talk about on one side and what Chase has done for Easton, it's been Roland on the other side.
It has, and that Bray just finds him, pulls up on his drop, and we have 2 Pocono Mountain players down right now. Looks like they both made, one definitely a cramp. Another one looked like it was Roland who's down. And then prior to that, Monaco was down on the sideline getting worked on as well.
Well, the temperature also, you mentioned about cramp on one side. Temperatures changed significantly from about 45 minutes ago. I mean, the sun is beaming, the degrees, it's definitely different than it was before, that's for sure.
It was, and again, as it cools down in the Saturday afternoon game, players don't necessarily hydrate as much as they normally would if there was a night game. So they really have to go a night before and begin that hydration process.
So they're attending right now, and an opportunity again to reach out to everyone watching right now and see if you can help out Jeff Zimmerman, Easton coach, and we talked to Allie yesterday for about 25 minutes or so, and living donor nurse coordinator. You can reach her at 215-707-8889. Right now, Jeff's battling stage 4 kidney failure. Is both kidneys are functioning at just 17%, which is very, very low. And if anyone's out there that's interested in donating or getting more information, call that number, reach out, and do its best, and can help out. And he's done so much, and right now he's just kind of waiting. And it's one of those things when it comes to the kidneys. There's so many people that are waiting all the time, and this is why you get the word out. Whether it's the newspapers, whether it's the radio, whether it's the TV, whether it's the streams, whether it's websites, it doesn't matter. You need that one person to come up and say, yeah, I'm willing to do this, and for a good cause. So hopefully you get the word out and can help out Jeff. And obviously, like we mentioned before, you're friends with the family, and everything that's been going on as well.
Yeah, and it's a sad situation, but I know Jeff's a fighter, and I think he's going to continue to fight through this, and he's going to be there for his family and be there for the community, and now the community needs to turn around and rally for him.
Well, Roland was a guy dinged up after the hit, so he's back on the sidelines and stick out one play, but he's feeling pretty good, and I think just cramping up a little bit. That's what it looked like was Jalen Randolph, the 6-foot, 190-pound senior. So. He's kind of wobbly, though, coming off, and is still nursing, looks like that left foot, left shin area. So they may have to work on that a little bit more. But Jim McCarroll in his 18th year, 61 and $118. Jeff Brado in his 3rd year at 17-9. So 1st and 10 as they get back to the action. The ball sits at the 33. 26-14 is your score if you're just tuning in. Or just streaming in. How do you say that? Just streaming in?
I guess it would be just streaming. Or
all that and another whistle.
Prior to the snap, false start against the Panthers. Five-yard penalty, replay, first down. 1st and 15 for the Panthers.
Well, just as you had things going your way, now you get that penalty, just make it a little bit more difficult for you offensively.
Right about the 6-minute mark. This one near sideline. Another reception made by Isaac Menshaw.
And now we have an Easton defender down.
These PM West receivers are making some good plays. Easton player down is RJ Gisler. Gives us an opportunity to go through the scoring once again. Tamir Jackson from 2 yards out made 6-0. That came at the 10:08 mark. It was a huge INT by Jaden Kelly at the 3:11 mark, but it was 6-0 after 1 quarter play. 2nd quarter, less than a minute in, a 7-yard touchdown by Najee Adams made it 12-0 in favor of the Red Rovers. Then at the 6:03 mark, 10-yard touchdown from Cole Transu to Chase Holmes made it 19-0. PM West coming right back, 67-yard touchdown, the biggest play for them. That kind of woke up the crowd and woke everyone up. And Lawson Bray to Bayvon Rowland made it 19-7. That came with 3:24 on the clock. Caleb Monaco then had an INT. Then they had a chance there for a 33-yard field goal attempt, but it was blocked by the guy that's down on the field right now is RJ Gisler. It came with 9.4 seconds. We went in the locker room with a score of 19-7. With that said, come out to the 3rd quarter, opening drive by the Panthers, and it was Caleb Monaco going 5 yards for the score to make it 19-14 at the 8:21 mark, and then a big play of 51 yards, Transu to down on the field with a big pass play, and then that went to the 9-yard line, and a 4-yard touchdown pass again from Transu to Zion Jones made it 26-14. That's where we stand right now, 26-14 in favor of Easton. Overall thoughts of how both teams are really, how they started and kind of where they are right now. And are you still getting a gauge, of these two teams here?
I think each one's still trying to learn and work through what they're going to be and what they're going to be known for. I think Pocono Mountain West offensively has a lot of balance. The same can be said for Easton as well with their balance offensively. Defensively, I think they both need to just settle down a little bit and just play a little bit more fundamentally sound. If they can do that, I think that gives them the opportunity to be successful this season.
So Gisler will limp his way over to the sidelines. Hopefully he will be okay.
And it looks like we still have Randolph down for Pocono Mountain West on the sideline being worked on. But fortunate for Pocono Mountain, Rowland is back up and getting ready to come back in the game shortly.
So Easton will have their home opener against Whitehall. Then they'll be at Deerhoff. Back-to-back games with Liberty and Emmaus, at Central Catholic on the 28th to wrap up the month of September. They get Bethlehem Catholic, Parkland, Nazareth, and of course, the State Liners. That's a game that I think they care about. I don't know, I've heard about that game before. You?
Just a little bit. You're talking to Coach McCarroll, they have a nice schedule coming up. It doesn't get any easier. They have to travel to East Stroudsburg South next weekend, who just knocked off Whitehall last night.
Monaco with a solid run across the 40 up towards the 42-yard line. You mentioned it. Yeah, they have East Stroudsburg South, and Matt Walters doing a great job with that team. Then they'll be back home against Stroudsburg, at Allen, home against Northampton, at Freedom. We'll be back here against Deerhoff on the 5th of October. Then at PV, they'll host East Stroudsburg North and finish, of course, with Pocono Mountain East.
You have the EPC conference, and you have the North and the South, and how they have those crossover games. And Coach McCarroll was fortunate. He said, how lucky are we? Our crossover games get to be against Easton and Freedom. But like he said, though, it will let them know what they are and what they're made of.
No question. On the ground, Jaden Bowens, a sophomore running back with a carry.
At the 44-yard line.
And he's just tripped up short of the first down by Tamir Jackson. And the Pocono Mountain West players are urging Coach McCarroll to go for this 4th and short.
This is a big call, and they're going to think about this one. And Matt, I realize you have a little momentum going right now. You look at the clock. There's still 4:46 left in the third, and this is a tough call. I mean, I think it's a little too close, but you're a coach. I'm not. What are you thinking here?
Well, the conservative me is saying, let's punt the ball away. But when you look at that, though, when you look at that 4th and short, and Coach McCarroll called the timeout to make sure he gets all of his players, all of his skill guys back, so that they can't just rely. The defense can't just key on one. So he is getting Monaco back on the field. Because they had a backup running back running that 3rd down play. If it's Monaco in there, maybe he gets that first down. So he wants to have all his playmakers out there. And I think this is not a bad call going for this. I think you do go for this. You have your momentum. You show your kids you believe in them. And then if they do get the first down, now you have a whole different team playing for you.
All right, 4th down. They're going to go. Monaco has a good block in front. Monaco makes it and has a turn, and Monaco's going to break through a tackle inside the 30, 25, 20, and he is going to go in for the touchdown. 43 yards on the touchdown. Make it 57 yards on the touchdown.
And just like that, 4th down converted, 4th and short. Why not just go score a touchdown, right?
Wow.
And that was the same play that they ran on the last touchdown for Monaco way down deep in Easton's territory where he had the 5-yard touchdown run. Same sweep play, just get guys out in front of him, let him figure out where he wants to go, find the seam. Picked up a real big block from Preston Green, number 5, and able to just find his way to the rest of the way to the end zone.
Extra point is up and good, and look out. It's 26-21, Easton on top. And I told you they should go for the, on 4th down. It was never a doubt in my mind. I don't
Absolutely.
know.
You made that call from the beginning before it even happened. But now it's in. What is the Pocono Mountain East West defense going to do now? They have to have a lot of confidence. They have to feel pretty good about themselves, knowing, hey, our offense can score versus defense, but now we need to get out here and get a stop.
So 4:31 on the clock. Easton up by a score of 26-21. Things starting to get real interesting right now. There's a lot to go in this game, and you're noticing also that it's starting to get warmer. And as it gets warmer, we're seeing some other players cramp up. And you're out 1 or 2 plays. That's giving another guy an opportunity. But at the same time, while they're giving another opportunity, maybe you're a better player or the guy that has more experience is sitting out a couple extra plays.
Correct, because you go back there, that 3rd down play on that drive, Caleb Monaco was out of the game. They don't pick up the 1st down. Maybe Coach McCarroll makes a decision, we're going to punt it away. Now we miss that scoring.
So they get this one over, taken there by Kelly. And Kelly gets popped. I'll tell you what, PM West defense, we talked about this not only in the line, they've been playing pretty well today. I mean, Coach has to be pleased with what they're doing. I mean, you're looking at a 26-21 game, but their defense is definitely keeping them in throughout, especially into that 2nd quarter.
And I think their defense is doing just enough. I mean, they gave up 19 points in the 1st half, but then they settled in a little bit. Yeah, they had the one drive. They gave up the touchdown here to start the 3rd quarter, but they started to settle in that 1st half as well. So we'll see if they can do the same thing here in the 2nd half.
So 4:26 remaining here in quarter number 3. It's a 5-point game. Easton will take over at their own 25-yard line. Quick toss near side. And the reception is made, and some extra yardage by Brown. Red Rovers doing a good job of really spreading the ball around with their receivers and getting some other guys involved.
Yeah, you have multiple guys touching the ball and getting in the play, because you want to keep them all involved, and you need to keep them all going so that they all have a feel for the game and they're all part of the game, not just coming in one play here or there.
2nd down and 6, the ball at the 31-yard line. Long count here. Almost bobbled there for a second. And Najee Adams gets popped off.
I'm not sure if they said the ball popped out.
That's what it looked like. It's sitting underneath there. And they're still battling underneath. Originally, I thought just Easton and Najee Adams had it, but they're pushing through there. This would be huge. Let's see. So it'll be a 3rd down coming up for the Red Rovers.
Well, I didn't see any player come out with the ball.
No. I don't know if it bobbled in afterwards. It's just them talking.
3rd down and 2.
This is going to be a big play for the Pocono Mountain West defense.
Huge. 3:18 on the clock, 3rd quarter, ball at the 39-yard line. 3rd down and a long 2, almost 3 yards here for the Red Rovers. Trying to keep the drive going and move the chains. Looking to throw, quick pass, and the reception is made. Chase Holmes with the 1st down inside Panther territory, down to about the 48-yard line.
And that's a big strike throw by Cole Transu, picking up that 1st down, throws a strike to Chase Holmes, who's able to get a little bit extra on his own afterwards.
Good start for Transu, that's for sure. Ball to 48. He gets flushed out real quick, avoids being tackled, and then incomplete as he was looking in the direction again of Holmes.
And Preston Green comes with the pressure, number 5 from his outside linebacker position. And Transu doing just enough to get outside of him but can't get a ball up for Holmes on the sideline.
Second down and 10, the ball to 48. On the ground they go, and Najee Adams gets taken down. Huge play by Owens, and Jonathan Owens has made some big plays so far this afternoon. Really none bigger than that one.
It just seemed like that play did not have a chance to get started from the get-go. They had some linemen pulling, and just the pressure from Pocono Mountain West didn't let it get going, and they were able to get a lot of pressure in the backfield to throw Adams for a loss.
Two minutes on the clock. Janju to toss, and Najee Adams had no chance. No chance whatsoever as Preston Green came through. Now, in a game like this, when it's 26-21 and you're getting this involved, when I say this, the crowd as well, and then you see that sideline, you know, for Pocono Mountain West, they realize what's happening here. You know, it's not many times that we've seen it in the past where a North team has beaten the South. You know, the numbers are pretty huge at that point. And right now, you're in a situation where you're in a tight game, 26-21. Could this go totally in favor of Easton the other way? Yes, but at the same time, you know that you're in it and your team's here to play.
Correct. And I think that's what Pocono Mountain West has to rely on right now, the fact that they have this game
well, just as
where
we
they
say
can
that,
make things happen.
That could have been disastrous, but they do cover up.
You know, we were saying how the Pocono Mountain West defense needed to make a stop. They got that stop there. So now it's going to be on Easton's defense. Can they come out and do the same thing for their team to get the ball back in their offense's hands?
1:09 on the clock, 26-21. Glad you could join us here for the D11 Sports Football Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. On the ground they go. Monaco almost was a half a step away from breaking that one, but a good job of the defense to hold on to the shoelaces.
Yeah, it was. That time again, from his outside linebacker spot, Elijah Benton comes up, gets on the legs, but not let go of Monaco after he breaks through off the first tackle.
You know, getting word, people are watching this, you know, in Indiana, in Florida, in Montana.
Yeah,
it's amazing, you know, the streaming.
Sibling from Montana of one of the Easton players watching this. You know, I think that's the big thing. Like we're broadcasting the game, yeah, for the Lehigh Valley, for the people at home that they can see this, but more so for the Lehigh Valley natives who are elsewhere. You know, kids at college, like I mentioned, my daughter before, Towson, like those kids and the older siblings that are living elsewhere, family members. Now they have a chance. They have a chance to see their family members, you know, in a meaningful game and where they can see what's going on. I think it's a great opportunity for them.
Yeah, I agree with 100%. We're excited to bring it to you. Thanks for St. Luke's to helping us with that as well, and a huge stick. You know, Deion Marshall did not have a chance there as the Easton defense saying, hey, everyone's talking about what Pocono Mountain West defense is doing, but let's talk about what we're doing.
And you look at that defensive drive there, it was both, you know, two big plays defensively by Elijah Benton, able to shut down that offense. As we end up finishing up the third quarter, we're going to start with a fourth quarter punt return by Easton.
So fourth quarter has 3 in the books, 1 to play. We've got a good one cooking here, 26-21. We'll be back right after this. D11sports.com, Game of the Week.
Are you searching for a place where you belong? Where your fitness matters? Regardless of what shape you're in, St. Luke's Fitness and Sports Performance Centers have a professional team that will help you meet or exceed your fitness goals. With locations throughout the region and nationally recognized fitness experts, you'll become a member of a supportive fitness community. We call it Extraordinary Fitness. Visit us online to start your free 7-day membership and let us help you thrive.
We're back here at Pocono Mountain West High School. Al DiCarlo, Matt Evancho, D11Sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. And boy, you get up here to Pocono Mountain West and you don't know what to expect in game number 1. Last year was a blowout. We talked to Jim McCarroll, and he said, you know, we have more experience. We're expecting bigger things. And, you know, Jeff Brado, not a happy guy when it comes to Saturday games. They didn't have any last year. And all of a sudden we're into the fourth quarter, and we've got a great game here, 26-21. Matt, your thoughts through 3 quarters of play?
Well, I think, you know, we knew coming in that this game was going to be close. I mean, we picked nothing but good games this year. But, you know, I think it's both teams still feeling their way. I think both of them are still young with some experience. It's just going to be a matter of who can just take that step forward a little bit quicker. And we're seeing some of it on both sides at different times. But it's going to see who can sustain it and be more consistent throughout.
Red Rovers will take over at the 41-yard line, 1st and 10.
So just underway here in quarter number 4. And just I'm going to say picture-perfect afternoon for the people in the stands. The football players may be thinking, man, it's a little hot out here. What's going on?
Yeah, they were enjoying the cool breeze earlier on, but now with that sun out, I think it's just heating up down there. But you're right. What a view of the Poconos, you know, seeing the trees and the green, and it's almost not like it, but almost like watching a game up at Penn Argyle on the hill.
Sod Brown gets up towards midfield.
Down by the Panthers.
And we are seeing the offense of Easton utilize the other skill positions like we said they had to. They had to get out there. Couldn't just rely on Adams all game long. And I think you're seeing that in the second half. He's still back in there. He's doing his thing. But you also have the other playmakers coming up with some plays as well.
So second down and a short one as the breeze picks up here in Pantherland. And on the ground, not going to get that one. Well, they're going to give a good, still be short, but they gave him a better spot than I expected.
Yeah, it was big on the inside of defensive line. Number 70, Rob Xavier Reyes, getting through and slowing that down and not giving it that play a chance to get started.
So third down and about a half yard or so. And the toss. Here's Adams. Adams has the first down, and it's down to about the 45.5.
And you had to think on that third and short there, they were going to go to Adams for that play, knowing that they had to go to their go-to guy to get the first down, and they were able to pick up a block from Tamir Jackson on the outside just to give them enough room to pick up 5-6 yards and also move the chains.
2 minutes into quarter number 4. 26-21. Easton moving the chains, keeping the drive going, milking that clock a little bit, and trying to add to their lead. Transu out of the shotgun. Looking up top, and that one incomplete. And those are the ones that we've seen work so far today, and then in week 3, 4, and 7, or whatever, it's going to be a big play against another team. They're just, you know, you see it's happening, and they're going to use that a lot this year.
I think what they're going to have to do is just work on some timing a little bit to get them to the same point where those are completed all the time, not just every once in a while.
Second down and 10. Adams busts to the outside, still on his feet, and close to another first down to move the chains.
It'd be interesting to see, too, because the left side of the offensive line is the more experienced of the two, a little bit bigger of the two. So it would be interesting to see if they decide to run behind those guys over there. And we're talking about number 71, Patrick Shook, 6'3", 325, a University of Delaware commit. And then also Derek Frenzy, number 56, 6'3", 230. See if they continue to work that side and utilize those guys.
Well, Adams breaks through, and Adams going to find the corner of the end zone, 36 yards for the score.
And just like that, they go ahead and utilize the right side of the line. He comes off tackle with a big block from his fullback, Tamir Jackson, and it's just him with empty space, 36 yards for the touchdown.
Comes at the 9:24 mark. And Red Rovers increase their lead. And Matt, I looked at the far sideline. I think we mentioned this earlier. The band is the stands, and the fans are around the fence. This one will just squeak through, but enough for the point. And Easton extends their lead to 33-21.
Now, Easton Red Rovers 33, Pocono West 21.
And again, Pocono Mountain West has nothing to hold their head about on this one. They're still playing solid. You know, it's just, this is going to happen when you're in a contested game, when you're competing with a good team, and they're doing their job. They're doing what they have to do. You know, it's just a step here, a step there. They're going to be a good football team this year, and I think, you know, this one's still not over.
Yeah, anything's possible right now as the sun goes down just a little bit, but you know, you look at it, and when you're in a game, anything is possible. And right now, if you're PM West, this is your drive to see if you're going to stay in and keep it in.
And that's the big thing. I think, you know, you talk to, you know, the teams that are, you know, they're the, I'd say the middle of the road teams, the bubble teams, you know, not the perennial teams that are up top, but it's all about, can you continue to build and be successful in contested games? You know, anybody can win a blowout. I mean, anybody can play well when things are going great, but can you continue to fight and continue to get yourselves better, you know, against quality opponents? Even if it's not a win, come back and what do you learn from it?
Here's the kickoff, and this one will roll out with 9:24 on the clock.
Ball goes out of bounds. Penalties against Easton. Panthers will start 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line.
And it looks like Pocono Mountain West will elect to take the ball on the 35 rather than making Easton re-kick the ball. We'll see how Pocono Mountain West's offense comes out here and takes their opening drive of the fourth quarter.
Looking to throw, goes near side, and there's Deion Marshall. And Marshall gets driven into the ground, but after picking up about 5 yards.
That's a pretty good first down play for Pocono Mountain West. They get it out on the edge quickly like they've been doing successfully throughout the game, using Monaco as a decoy.
So 8:51 on the clock, 2nd down and 5, the ball to 45. We get a whistle.
Whistle stop the play.
False start on the Panthers.
Panthers now looking at 2nd and 10. From the 35-yard line.
Back foot, throwing it, has a receiver wide open. He was just waiting in the wings, and that's rolling. Devon Rowland has had a tremendous game as he takes another hit and goes down.
And I think we're going to have him with a cramp again. He was the one that was being worked on earlier. But, yeah, as you said, Bray holds the ball long enough to allow him to get out of his break, throws the ball up, and Roland able to come underneath it and corral it for a big play for Pocono Mountain West.
So clock stops with 8:24. A 33-21 lead in favor of Easton while they attend to Roland. And if you're watching us here on a Saturday, you can go back and watch this as much as you want on our YouTube channel. And then on Thursday, we'll be back at it, Catasauqua and Northern Lehigh. As we get into September, we'll go out of District 11 for a big matchup between North Schuylkill at Wyomissing. That's at 1:30 in the afternoon start. On Thursday, the 12th of September, games on a Thursday, that's Salisbury at Saucon Valley. On Thursday, the 19th is a good sign as Roland makes his way to the sideline. Panther Valley at Lehighton. On the 28th, to wrap up the month of September, we'll be at J. Bernie Crum Stadium, Stroudsburg and Allen. Back up here on the 5th of October, Deerfield and Pocono Mountain West. Southern Lehigh at Penargil on the 12th of October. On the 18th, we go Friday Night Football with Whitehall and Liberty, and we end things off with Wilson at Notre Dame on the 26th on that last Saturday of the regular season. So tell your friends, follow us on Twitter at D11 Sports and on Facebook as well. And visit our website, d11sports.com. Monaco, nowhere to go. Tamir Jackson will bring him down.
Tamir Jackson's going to get credited with the tackle, but you have to credit number 15, Dominic Apgar, defensive end. He was the one who came upfield, turned that play back inside, and did not give Monaco the edge like he has had in that play a few times this game.
So it's second down and about 12. Looking to throw, and that one incomplete.
And Bray was looking for his receiver, 36, Tyler Amon. He was coming through with a tight window. Bray puts it in that tight window just a little bit too far. And again, Pocono Mountain West are going to come back and practice. They work on this timing as well, just like we mentioned with the Easton receiver and quarterback. Bray has weapons on the outside, and he throws the ball well. So Pocono Mountain West is getting poised for a very good season.
Third down and 12. The ball sits at the 46-yard line. Bray to throw, and that one just pops out of the hands of Marshall. And it'll bring up a fourth down. Now you're looking at the 7:21 mark, so
fourth down, 13 for Panthers.
Expect him to go here, I would imagine. We get more flags coming, and this one again on PM West.
I think Coach Carlo called timeout just in time.
So the timeout comes with 7:20 on the clock, 33-21, Easton on top. Again, it's going to be a fourth down and 12. The ball sits at the 46-yard line. They have to get down to about the 34. Again, this is really, I mean, I know there's still time, but this is really the game right here.
I think you're right. I think they do have to get something going here. They have to get the first down, continue this drive, because I don't think they can put the defense back out on the field and expect them to get another stop. And I think you're just out of the range where Monaco's an option running the ball, so you know that ball's going to be in Bray's hands, and they're going to be looking to move it down the field into one of those wideouts.
looking to throw, and that one incomplete. And again, looking in direction again for Marshall, and Easton will take over on downs.
And I think even if he completed that, it looked like Marshall was going to be just short of the first down regardless. But it looked like pressure got to Bray and made him throw that a little bit sooner than he wanted to. Kind of fumble snap to start that play.
Recovered by the Red Rovers. Second down and 12.
Not the start to the drive that Easton wanted.
I was just going to say, if you really recap this game at this point, is when you look at Adams, when he went out in the second quarter, things were just moving right along, 19-0, and then you had that big play. They came back and you got it back in. Najee coming back in the second half, been a difference. But PM West has played effective as well. But he's been really the difference maker. Even though when you look at the quarterback, Transu has done everything. And speaking of everything, how about a run again? I mentioned his name before, and I'll mention it again, and he's going to coast in for the touchdown. 56 yards for the score. So Najee Adams with another touchdown. A big day for him. Last one was from 36, this one from 56.
That time they used Assad Brown as a decoy coming across in motion, fake the handoff to him, and then bring Adams back the other way, following a block from Falcone, and it's just him in empty space, 56 yards. That's got to put him over 200 yards for the day, and making him, have a very successful day, even with missing a quarter.
I agree with that 100%.
Slows, point after is good.
So it's taking a while for Easton to extend the lead, but they have done so here in quarter number 4. A 36-yard touchdown by Adams, and then a 56-yard touchdown. It's 40-21 with 6:26 on the clock.
I think what you see there, too, is just a little bit of the first game just getting worn down a little bit. The defense is getting worn down and just giving up some points early on. And the Easton offensive line just leaning on the defensive line of Pocono Mountain West. We said how successful they had been early on. It's just more and more as you go and they keep grinding. That just wears on you and tires you out a lot faster than it normally is.
So interesting third quarter. Caleb Monaco went 5 yards to make it 19-14. Then 4-yard touchdown pass from Transu to Zion Jones made it 26-14. PM West, Monaco 57 yards, made it 26-21. But since that time, we have seen a lot more of Najee Adams, as Najee Adams goes 36 yards and then 56 yards for a 40-21 advantage.
And we have 2 more flags out on the field. I think both for the same thing. So that personal foul with the face mask going to help out Pocono Mountain West, give them a little extra yardage. And again, still not totally out of this game. Still have a chance to come back with a little over 6 minutes to go. They obviously have shown they have big play capability.
People Matt not watching and just, checking the score. They go, all right, that's expected, but they didn't realize how close this game really was.
Correct, and I think that's the one thing that, both Easton and Pocono Mountain West will take out of this, the fact of, how close it really was.
Looking to throw, connects once again with Roland. Roland's had a terrific game.
And I think you're going to hear a lot of things out of Roland this year for Pocono Mountain West. He's another one that's catching the ball in traffic, not afraid to go over the middle. It's just doing a lot of things for his offense.
As we approach the 6-minute mark, ball sits right at midfield. Panthers trying to see if they can get in the end zone one more time and fight back. Quick toss pass gets nothing. Host of Easton players in there, including Tamir Jackson.
And Bray catches the ball, gets it out quickly to Marshall, gets a short gain. And that's something, Pocono Mountain West, if they look back, that's what they want to do. I think offensively, that's going to be their identity, getting the ball outside quickly and then allowing that to open up some more holes for Monaco.
Second down and 7. The ball sits at the 47 of the Red Rovers. And this game was 19-0 at one point, then 26-21. Flags coming in.
Prior to the snap, false start against the Panthers. The 5-yard penalty. Replay setting down.
Week 2 for Pocono Mountain West. Coach McCarroll is going to discuss this with his team about the false starts, the penalties, the mental mistakes, making sure they clean that up moving forward.
Crunched as he throws that one incomplete. Trying to make a nice catch was Armand again.
And as you said, Bray took a big shot from Alden Freeze coming from his outside linebacker spot.
Third down for Panthers.
That gives them a large third down conversion that they need here.
High snap once again on the ground. Monaco tries to make the turn, stays on his feet, and still on his feet trying to tiptoe down the sideline. This is going to be a flag.
Absolutely going to be a flag. He was way out of bounds.
Flag comes in and gives the play.
So the clock will stop. You get an extra 15 on there, and you'll put yourself in position here with 4:44 on the clock.
Hey, you got a good look again at what Monaco's capable of doing. You have them right there by the line of scrimmage. You're narrowing on a tackle, and he just breaks out of it, keeps his balance, and gets plenty of extra yards after contact.
Want to thank Mike Del Grosso, the athletic director from Pocono Mountain West, for having us here. We appreciate him and his team.
The 15-yard penalty from the end of the play. First down, Pocono Mountain West.
Also, I want to thank the Verne Sports Network from Malvern University in Reading, Bruce Badgley, the executive producer, Louis Galan, camera guys, Thomas Glitch and Scott Smith. And this one tossed near side. That one's intercepted, picked off. It pops out of the hands. It goes right to Assad Brown. And Brown gets knocked out of bounds around the 30-yard line.
Not a bad pass by Bray. Menson turning around, catching the ball, just slips through his fingers, and Brown catches it unexpectedly and is just up the sideline. Another turnover gets this Easton offense back on the field.
Red Rovers will take over 1st and 10 from 26-yard line.
So 4:37 on the clock, first down 10 from the 26. More from Adams. Adams breaking through, just starting to feel different than he did earlier. Whatever happened to him in the second quarter, he's 100% different.
Absolutely, and again, you've seen the offensive line open up some bigger holes for him and allow him to run through.
First and 10 from the 47-yard line.
I think you expect to see Easton just continue to run the ball, to run the clock, take the 19-point win for today.
First and 10 with 4:05 on the clock. Zach Manoli on the carry, and there's a little extracurricular going on beyond the play.
You see some things from Manoli. He's a very capable backup running back for Easton. Get some things done for them. As long as he can just continue to work and get better, that'll allow somebody to take some of that load off of Adams as well.
On the ground, Jaden Kelly trying to wind down this clock. End of the game, we'll have our D11sports.com player of the game. Joey Draper will go down and talk with that individual. Hey, what? Coach Brado has to be pleased with his quarterback's performance today. Just did everything, and you talked to him before the game. You said, "What's different about him? He's a leader. He's vocal." And when you come to quarterback, you hear that word vocal, you have to be vocal.
Exactly, and I think that was one thing he said. When he comes in a huddle, he commands the respect of the team, and the team respects him back. And I think that's a huge thing. When they look in the quarterback's eyes, they need to see confidence, and they need somebody that they're going to follow. And I think they have that guy that they picked here.
.232 on the clock. Second down 10. The ball sits at the 30. Motion again to the far side of the field. Going to toss that way, and there's Evancho. And Evancho gets down to about the 22-yard line. Carlo Evancho, a 6', 150-pound sophomore.
Go ahead. What do you want to say?
Well, he's got football in his blood. That's what I'm saying.
Not athletic ability from me.
It's a little different watching from up here.
It is.
Short of the first down, third down and 1. Inside 1:45 to play. And they'll go on the ground. They'll move the chains. And it'll be Jaden Kelly once again.
Bounces it to the outside where he's taken down.
He'll actually go out of bounds. Clock will stop with 1:32 remaining.
And we're getting a look here, another backup running back, Jaden Kelly, who's a converted wide receiver, getting a chance to get some running back reps, which will be good for him as well, to see if he can fill in as a backup to Najee Adams, just to give him another spark in the backfield. You see they have the playmakers on the outside. Can they get somebody else to complement Najee Adams in the backfield?
Going to throw once again and does connect. Still on his feet, going through, and there's a flag on the play as Assad Brown went in, but we will wait on the call first.
Yeah, it looked like it was thrown right where Chase Holmes was holding the cornerback. He's going to get nailed for another hold.
Again, holding against Easton, replay down.
So 1:09 on the clock. Red Rovers on the snap. Back on the ground they go. Here's Kelly. And Kelly will get taken down around the 16-yard line or so. Actually, a little closer than that. Well, the difference came in the fourth quarter. 26-21 the start of the fourth, and then Najee Adams with the 2 touchdowns, one of 36 and one of 56. Really the knockout punch.
Yeah, at that point, you know, it was a different ball game. I think Pocono Mountain West had the momentum, was coming through, and just not able to finish it off.
Red Rovers will take the knee, and it wasn't easy as PM West came to play today without question. They wind down the clock. And the Red Rovers, as this will wind down, will win this one by the score of 40-21. But this game was close as they went through, as they shake hands. And if you look at Coach McCarroll, he's going to be pleased overall of what his team is capable of doing probably for the rest of the year. I'll be surprised if they're not a contender when it comes into the North Division, without question.
I agree, and I think Coach McCarroll, what he was looking for is he believes they're a playoff contender, and they're a contender in the North, and I think he's absolutely right after watching them play today. I think he has enough players, as long as they can stay healthy, they have enough players where they can contend with any team out there.
40-21 is your final score, and we'll be back with our player of the game, and that's Najee Adams when we return to D11sports.com Game of the Week.
Are serious. 3 million sport, recreation, and auto accident-related concussions happen each year. 20% of high school athletes who play contact sports will suffer a concussion during the season. St. Luke's is the region's leader in assessing, managing, and treating concussions in athletes and non-athletes of all ages. Our multi-specialty teams of experts collaborate to care for you using the latest treatment options. Don't play head games, take concussions seriously. Call St. Luke's to schedule an appointment with one of our concussion experts.
St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Extraordinary care in motion.
Draperson, reporter for D11. I am here with Easton running back Najee Adams. Najee, you were well over 200 yards in the game with 2 touchdowns. Can you just elaborate on the success that you had today?
The success I had today running the ball was from my offensive lineman. They did a good job blocking open up holes for me, and I just found the seam and kept running.
Najee, how can you take momentum from this huge game in week 1 into your next game in week 2?
Momentum-wise, I think we just have to keep working, execute on the practice field, and next Friday we'll come out with a strong W on our back, and we'll just keep pushing.
Najee, it was a slow first half, and we saw you walk off without the shoulder pads on, and we were wondering what was going on. Can you tell us how you were able to come back and get an even bigger second half to lead you guys to a win?
In the first half, I was dehydrated. My body wasn't responding well with the heat, so second half, I ate a little bit, drank some fluids, and I came back second half strong. I talked to my coaches, and they were just worried about my health and the best interest of me, and I just came back second half to help my team win.
Congratulations on the win, Najee. This is Najee Adams, District11.com Sports Player of the Week and Player of the Game. Congratulations.
Hall of Fame pitcher Steve Carlton knows what it takes to exceed expectations. He knows what it means to be part of a team that rises above the competition. He knows a champion. Steve Carlton knows St. Luke's Orthopedic Care.
So you're hurting. Is it your back or your knee? That old football injury? Get the rehabilitation you need. In most cases, you won't need a script from your doctor. In Pennsylvania and New Jersey, a law called Direct Access lets you see a physical therapist without a prescription. And if your insurance requires a prescription, physical therapy at St. Luke's will work with your doctor to get you the care you need that is covered. Let us speed up your recovery. We're in your neighborhood. Call Physical Therapy at St. Luke's.
They found some playmakers that they needed to kind of take the weight off of Najee Adams. I think for Coach Matera with Pocono Mountain West, they identified pretty much what their identity is going to be. They're going to be a team to be contended with in this North, and I think Coach Matera leaving this game should be pretty happy with what his team was able to do against a very quality Easton team.
And Najee Adams, obviously, he mentioned that he was a little dehydrated, but he was our DLMsports.com player of the game, presented by St. Louis Sports Medicine. Obviously, when he is on, which he was today for 3 quarters and goes over 200 yards, this team
to all ages. Our multi-specialty teams of experts collaborate to care for you using the latest treatment options. Don't play head games. Take concussion seriously. Call St. Luke's to schedule an appointment with one of our concussion experts.
He wasn't not getting hit until 8, 9, 10 yards down the field, and you have a kid that big, that powerful coming at you 8, 9, 10 yards down the field. You're not going to want to get in front of him, and I think that's going to, teams are going to see that throughout the season.
Talk about Cole Transu and the type of quarterback he can be for this Easton offense.
I think he needs to build on this, and I think the coaching staff needs to help him build on this, and I think they will. I think that he did just enough. He made some plays, and I think you saw that fearlessness at times. I saw, some first game starts mistakes sometimes, with the snaps, letting the ball get out when he was getting rushed. I think, he cleans that up. I think he's going to be a fine leader for this Easton team.
Oh, we had a slow start as well, but we picked it up, and obviously an exciting time for us at D11Sports.com, giving you that live stream opportunity. And you mentioned Montana, Florida, Indiana. People are watching, grandparents and friends and former players, and that's what we're all about. We want to be able to bring this to your house, bring this to your home, whether you stream it on your TV or you stream it on your laptop. That's what we're all about, and obviously with our D11 Sports students and our program. So we hope you enjoyed this one. We'll be right back at it in about, 5-6 days, as we will be in Slatington for Northern Lehigh Lehigh and Catasauqua. That'll do it for Joey Draper. Did a tremendous job for us on the sideline. For Dave Micah, for Bruce Badgley and his team with Louis Galan and Matt Evancho. I hope you enjoyed it, because I know you did, because I'm not even going to ask you that, but I know you did.
Oh, it was a great time.
Yeah, great time. I'm Al DiCarlo. So long, and we'll see you down the road. Final score once again, Easton wins this one 40-21. Have a great afternoon.